This one hit in the air, drops down. Tiger fans drive home safely. Tigers win, Tigers win. Duplantis with his 5th hit of the day. Drives in Zach Watson, and the Tigers take the series 2-1.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. I'm Tommy Krysan along with Jordy Hultberg. Jordy, good evening. How are you?
I'm terrific. Always great to see the celebration after Antoine Duplantis with the game-winning walk-off base hit in the 10th inning. They beat South Carolina, a very pivotal ball game, setting up a very pivotal Thursday, Friday, Saturday Auburn series.
You know, with so many baseball games get played, people think there's walk-offs all the time. There's really not. It's a little bit rare. I mean, more common than no-hitters and hitting for the cycle. But that was very, very important for LSU in this SEC baseball race, which, you know, we talk about May being crunch time. Well, there's only 2 weekends of SEC baseball left, and the Tigers are in a good spot.
Right.
But there's some question marks.
Still some question marks. Still, who do you pull out of the bullpen? Leeds get squandered. They lost to South Alabama in midweek game. Auburn got beat. They got swept by Alabama. So you have a team coming in here with two really good pitchers with a sense of urgency for their postseason lives. So it sets up some dramatic possibilities at the box.
And both teams lost Tuesday night games this week. LSU loses to South Alabama. Auburn loses to Alabama Birmingham. So they're both smarting a little bit. You see the score from last night, 7-6 on Tuesday. LSU now 32-17 overall. Most importantly, 15-9 in league play with the Auburn Tigers coming to town.
Glaring, South Alabama wins at 7-6. LSU led 5-1 after 2. That tells me the bats went really quiet, and again, the pitching staff, they kept chipping away, scoring runs, and then it was too late.
Too many walks.
10
different pitchers, 10 walks, not all issued by the same guy, obviously. Yeah. And that's something we talked about earlier in the season. When you're up 5-1 and a game's late, you got to finish it and win it, okay? Because in baseball, you're going to lose. Some days it's just not going to be your day, and the other team's going to beat you. But when you're up 5-1 and then it gets away, those things come back to haunt you, and it's still haunting LSU.
Not to sound disparaging in any way, but they were up 5-1, and they didn't have a lot of their regular players, 3 regular frontline starters and their 2 best out of the bullpen. But you had a 5-1 lead without those everyday players as well. So it's, you get a lead like that at home, you're supposed to close it out.
Well, only 4 more regular season games at the box for LSU, to 3 with Auburn, and then the Northwestern State Demons from Natchitoches come calling next Tuesday night. And then it's that matchup that everybody's been staring at for a while in Starkville. Andy Cannizzaro and the Bulldogs, Mississippi State. But you got to worry about Auburn this week, because if Auburn comes in here and wins 3, a lot of the glitter is going to come off that matchup in Starkville.
You win 3 and you're in great shape. But you got to win. Got to get 2. You got to get 2 at least.
Got to get at least 2. So
and look, they've got to give some run support to Lang. Lang's got to last. I'm telling you, he's got to get to the 7th inning. If he gets out in the 5th inning again, that means you're behind, and now your bullpen. Oh man, you got to get Lang Poche to the 7th inning, and then see what happens from there.
It was really great last Saturday night. They recognized and honored the 97 team, which won the College World Series title. I think all but 2 or 3 players
great turnout.
were able to attend. There were just a couple guys that couldn't be there. Of course, Coach Burtman was there and brought back a lot of stories and memories. And I remember that team, the 188 home runs. I mean, how can you forget it?
They say records are made to be broken. Never.
No, certainly not. Once the bats got changed.
188, never.
They hit at least one in every game.
And I think everybody had at least 10 home runs in their daily, regular, rotating players, everyday players. And, of course, Larson, 40.
Yeah. Yeah, you had a nice interview with him.
Thank you.
But, everybody on the team had at least one.
Yeah.
So nobody that wore a uniform didn't jump in on that home run parade. So it was cool to do that, to recognize that team and bring back those memories. And I'm sure those guys had a blast.
Skip didn't have to do much motivating on that team.
Just get them to the park on time.
Just swing the bat.
Guys, we play at 6:30.
Swing the bat.
Okay, guys, today we play at 2 o'clock.
The best thing, they only played Alabama 6 times that year, and in '97, and they got beat in the regular season 28-2. They got them again in the SEC tournament twice. They won that, and then they got them for the championship game and just blew them out the stadium at Rosenblatt.
As we continue here with Tigers Roar, Tiger football, really not a lot going on. The Tiger Tour, which we'll talk about extensively later, but it's recruiting, because most of the high schools are now in their spring football practice sessions. So the Tiger coaches, other coaches are making the rounds.
Orgeron gets his first win as the head coach at LSU, and over a very prominent head coach. He beat Jim Harbaugh, Michigan.
You're losing me.
Okay. You want to talk about it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Satellite camps.
Right.
Michigan was joining up with Tulane. They're coming down to New Orleans, a big fertile hotbed of recruiting. I don't know this to be true. This is just my speculation. Mysteriously, Tulane canceled that and scheduled a satellite camp with LSU for the following weekend or the following week. I think somebody from LSU picked up that phone and said, you know those baseball games we come play at Turkson Stadium, pack the house? You know those tennis matches? And if you're ever thinking about ever playing us in football or basketball, I would strongly recommend you tell Jim Harbaugh, stay up in Michigan, and we'll figure something out. And sure enough, Orgeron won, Harbaugh zip.
Well, there you go. That's a good one there, that satellite camping. NCAA finally put their arms around that.
Don't come down here. No.
So anyway, on this week's edition of Tigers Roar, we have a lot of baseball. Jordy was in attendance over in Lafayette the other night at the Tiger Tour event, and he'll recap some of that stuff for you. We've got a few other things to kick around. Nothing much happening with the New Orleans Saints. They're waiting on OTAs. I saw a thing where all the LSU guys and the Louisiana guys have been assigned numbers in all the NFL camps now, and most of them, if they make the team, that'll be the number they have. Every now and then there's a switch after that. But
the only number they care about is what's after that dollar sign.
You're on that paycheck.
That's it. That's all they care about.
It's a direct deposit now. They don't see the paycheck anymore.
Every 2 weeks, though.
But and then, of course, the Kentucky Derby. I didn't have the winner. Not many people I know did, even though it was the betting favorite. We'll talk a little bit about that later, too.
I had the Louisiana Derby winner. I always pull for the Louisiana Derby winner. Gervin, not
all
so
right.
good.
Also on tonight's program, we will have a visit with Brian Lazar from TigerBait.com. We will also visit with Ronnie Rance of Sports Shorts Radio and Sports Shorts TV and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. All of that and much more to come on tonight's program. We'll take a break and come back and tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. All of that is up next right here on Tigers Roar, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us. Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
up to the skies, I see desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every one.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online cypresslake-apartments.net.
Continue with Tigers Roy, and it is time to tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Mike Tremonti and the staff, the whole crew over there, such a great job.
You went and got some crawfish yesterday,
I did
didn't
the
you?
Tuesday crawfish special. My son Brett and I did that, and it was outstanding, and there were no crawfish left on our platters.
Very good. The most important thing that you look at on that screen right there is Tremontis.com. You go there, it'll show you everything they have got. As you see the pictures coming across the screen, they've got everything you need. It's amazing, all the things they have inside that shop. From their daily lunch specials to their pre-made meals. They've got crawfish every day. They're just ready for you. If you want to plan a big event, a graduation party, call them, 751-7665. Tell them what you want. Mike and his staff will make it happen for you on a directly as you wish, and they'll make sure everything is good to go. Wines, spirits, beers, they've got everything you need. Tremontis.com, where cheap meat ain't good and good meat ain't cheap.
There you go. Highly recommend that to everyone out there. And it's Mother's Day, a lot of crawfish going to get boiled, so
Yes,
be
call
on top
them.
of that.
Yeah,
Call them.
call
Make
them.
sure they have what you need, what you
Right.
want. They will take care of it. You give them a call or get to that website. Jordy, you were in Lafayette earlier this week, the Tiger Tour, thing that's been going on for a long time. Tell us about Ed Orgeron at the Tiger Tour in Lafayette.
First, it was a packed house at the Le Pavillon. Very, very beautiful facility and packed house. A lot of Tiger fans, as I've mentioned, in Acadiana. Joe Oliva was there, Ed Orgeron, Will Wade, and Nicky Fargas. I've seen this before with Les Miles doing it. I saw it to a degree with Nick Saban in under different circumstances. Nick would have been, if he was going to speak at 7:20 at night, that car would drive up at 7:19. He'd get out, walk on the stage, do his thing, and leave. Les Miles would get there early. He'd be in an alcove room, sequestered, eating, relaxing, and when they called his name, he'd go up. At Orgeron, doors open at 6. He was there at about 6:15. You would have sworn he was running for political office. He was shaking hands, kissing babies, taking pictures. Completely different vibe. I'll say this, and this is no disrespect to any other coach that ever coached there. If Ed Orgeron can have a run of great success 6-7 years, where he is winning SEC championships, competing for a national championship, maybe get one or two of them, with his personality, I think he'll be the most revered coach in LSU football history. It's a big if.
Yeah.
It's a big if. But if, he'll go to the top of the mountain. The people love him. They absolutely love him.
Well, it's the whole story from South Lafourche High School,
Yes.
LSU, albeit briefly for a couple of
Yes.
weeks. He was in the signing class with our good buddy Alan Risher, and Risher hardly even remembered him being out there,
Right.
But then up to Northwestern State and Natchitoches, and then he's coached all over the place. And yeah, I think all of that factors in the big if that you
Win.
present. If that occurs, that won't be Tiger Stadium. That'll be Ed Orgeron Stadium. If he can pull that off, right?
I'm telling you, it'd be remarkable, and I hope it happens. I really, truly do. He loves it. He loves where he is. It's his dream come true. He's not he's unabashed in his euphoria for expressing it, and you can't help but like him. Can't help it.
And he was
just
greeted,
win, Ed.
yeah.
Just win, baby.
If you don't win,
And beat Alabama.
That excitement will.
He'll be out the door.
Yeah. Now, Will
Let me
Wade.
tell you, Joe Oliva, you better win.
Yeah. Now, Will Wade was down there. By the way, he's hired an assistant coach. I believe we have a snapshot. That's an old term, huh?
Yeah.
But Bill Armstrong, who's been on the Ole Miss staff for about 11 years, talk about Will Wade first and his appearance on the tour. And then what do we know about Bill Armstrong, the new member of Will Wade's basketball staff?
Will is young. He looks young, but he's got energy. And everyone came away very impressed with Will and his talk. He talked about how it's going to take everybody. And he's not dismissing 1 year at all. He wants to play and he wants to win now. Bill Armstrong, the latest addition to his staff, Tony Benford from North Texas, Hare from Wichita State, now Bill Armstrong. Armstrong, young, spent the last 11 seasons in a variety of roles at Ole Miss. He was the director of basketball operations for 5 or 6 years, then an assistant coach. I think that's simply a guy that the hiring comes from the fact that he's been in the league for those years. He's recruited the league. He understands the nuances of the league. So you got a guy from the Missouri Valley Conference. You got a guy from North Texas, which is in the Sun Belt, I think. And now you've got not the Sun Belt, whatever they are. Anyway, so I think you want to get somebody from the SEC ties, and you've got Tasman Mitchell with the LSU ties. That's his staff, and we'll see what happens. He can have the greatest staff in the world. He's got to go get players, plain and simple. A couple of players have announced that they are leaving because you brought some extra in. You only had, you had too many according to the allocation of scholarship limitations. So somebody had to leave. And you got a couple of guards that pulled out. I still think they're in the mix for 1 or 2 more players. So I don't think this roster is complete at this point in time.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Armstrong has been at Ole Miss for 11 years. He's familiar with the league. He knows the ins and outs. He knows other people, and But I think you hit the nail on the head. Players, okay. You could bring John Wooden back, but if there's no players, it's not going to work.
That's right.
And I think Will Wade is wise enough to know that.
But I know that they are working extremely hard on a variety of things, and Will Wade and his staff. They've really hit the recruiting road, not so much for this year, but down the road, and they know how important and significant that is. And again, enthusiastic, loves being there. Understands and is unabashed about him. Look, we need to go get players, plain and simple, and we need to change the work habits of the players that have been here. And I thought that was very intense and scrutinizing as well. So I like what I hear. I like what I see. Let's go get some players and let's go play.
So it was a great event over in Lafayette.
Yeah.
The Tiger Tours. Check with the LSU website to see when they're coming near you. But it was great to hear that it was a big crowd in Lafayette too.
Standing room only.
Lots of Tiger
and the other
fans
thing,
down there.
and Ed Orgeron has preached this. I saw Kevin Falk. I saw Trev Falk. I saw Jacob Cutrera. I saw from back in the day the old lefty Mike Hillman was there. Rusty Brown, a bunch of ex-LSU football players that took the time to come out and participate as well.
I think that's very important.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When you can bring the former players back into the program in any way it is, whether it's appearing at the tour in Lafayette or coming to practice. I mean, I've always thought that was a good thing, no matter what the school, what the sport. So.
Mike Hillman had a football signed by Y.E. Tittle, Jim Taylor, Billy Cannon. He had some names on that thing. He flew all the way to San Francisco to meet with Y.E. Tittle, brought a whole thing of footballs for him to sign, and Y.E. signed them all.
There you go.
Pretty good.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Brian Lazar, TigerBait.com. We'll talk to him about baseball and, of course, what's happening in the LSU football recruiting world. All of that and more right after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creole Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Tigers Roar, Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Chrysan with you here on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans. Right now we're joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Good evening, Brian. How are you?
Good. How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing well. Let's talk a little baseball. First off, the weekend series with South Carolina. I think now it's safe to say South Carolina's 10-11 league record coming into the weekend was a little misleading. We knew their ace, Clark Schmidt, was out for the year with an injury, but they came in here to play some baseball, and really good baseball over the weekend. Recap that weekend series for us, Brian.
Well, I think the one thing that stood about that series, LSU could have won 3, could have won 2, could have won 1, could have won none. I mean, I think all 3 of those games were that competitive. And, LSU, you use this term a lot now, grinded their way to a series victory. The two teams sort of split similar games on Friday and Saturday. And, then Sunday, LSU showed some resiliency, tie the game in the 8th, fall behind in the 9th, tied up in the bottom half, make a great defensive play to throw the go-ahead run out at the plate in the top of the 10th, and then win the game in the bottom of the 10th. So that's one of those games, that you need to win if you're going to have a good season. And that's what they did. And, when you look at the weekend, LSU lost ground in the title chase to only Florida. Florida won 3 games against Ole Miss, and LSU only won 2. So of all the contenders, that's the only team that LSU lost ground to. And we're down to 2 weekends, and LSU is still 1 game out of first place, but now they're just 2 teams ahead of them. Last week it was 3, and now it's just Florida and Mississippi State ahead of them.
Brian, I thought the Sunday game kind of encapsulated what this LSU baseball season's been all about. They had some good hits. They had some great defense. Their bullpen was here. Their bullpen was there. They fell behind. They regained it seemed like it kind of covered the gamut of what this crazy, to me, LSU baseball scene's been, because I don't know what you're going to get from game to game.
Well, I think one thing you're starting to see, the bullpen, there's no doubt about that. You may get the bullpen may be very good one night, and then the same guys in their next outings may struggle.
Yeah.
And offensively, they're a pretty good offensive team, but they're not a team that's going to knock the cover off the ball, and I think that's the reason why their midweek record isn't that good, because they don't have a good enough lineup that when they are facing mediocre pitching in the midweek, they're just going to go out there and score 8, 9, 10 runs.
Okay.
I really think last night's game against South Alabama was very telling in this way. We know what LSU is going to be like offensively. Dykeman will hit a home run. They'll put together some hits some days. Other days, they're going to leave runners in scoring position.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, LSU's 5 best pitchers were not available. You know, the 3 weekend starters,
right.
Lang, Poche, and Walker, and the 2 best relievers,
Hess and Newman.
So their 5 best pitchers weren't throwing. They threw every other pitcher on the staff last night. They threw 10 guys. And I think what you saw was really pretty up and down. You know, most of them were not that effective. I think Will Reese was the only pitcher who threw 1 scoreless inning. I mean, there were some other guys who didn't give up any runs, but they may have thrown a third of an inning or 2/3 of an inning. But Will Reese, of the 10 pitchers, was the only one that threw at least an inning and didn't give up a run. So I think what you saw is this. The pitching depth for this year's team is not as good as it's been recently. And LSU has 5 pitchers that it can count on. The 3 weekend starters and the 2 guys out of the bullpen, Hess and Newman. And if those guys don't throw well, LSU is going to be life or death to win the baseball game.
Yeah.
And I think as we're going down now, you know, this is basically playoff time coming. LSU, you know, if the seeds or if the tournament bracket was announced today, LSU would be a regional host and not a national seed. Now, what LSU does in the series against Auburn and Mississippi State and in the SEC tournament is going to determine how that changes. So the playoffs, in actuality, are really starting if LSU wants to have a chance of being a national seed and holding on to being a regional host. And I think that to win series against Auburn and Mississippi State, those 5 pitchers who didn't throw last night, they have to throw well now every time they go out to the mound.
I agree totally.
Brian, Auburn comes to town. They, like LSU, lost a game on Tuesday night. They lost to Alabama Birmingham. Auburn getting swept last week at home by Bama. I don't think many people saw that coming. Brian, there's pressure on LSU. There's more pressure on Auburn. Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, as we mentioned. It's going to be like a playoff-type atmosphere. I mean, every pitch is going to count.
Yeah, and look, you look at Auburn, and here's Auburn a couple of weeks ago. They're saying, well, can Auburn be a national seed? Well, you get swept at home by Alabama. Now they're sitting at 14-10 in the league. They go on the road to LSU, say they have a bad weekend, and get swept in Baton Rouge. Now they're sitting there at 14-13, and now they're going to start worrying, well, are we even going to make the NCAA tournament?
Mm-hmm.
So if things can change so drastically, particularly if you sweep somebody or get swept. And that's why the big thing is that if you stay 2 out of 3, winning or losing, you're going to have yourself in position at the end of the year that at least you're going to get into the NCAA tournament in this league. And but that's, you know, you're fearful of sweeps. You know, LSU is 15-9 in the league, but you know, say they get swept by Auburn and now they're 15-12. Well, look, no national seed, and then they'll be in a situation now where they're fighting to be a regional host.
And part of being a regional host, the factor is what are other teams doing who want to be regional hosts around the country, not just in the SEC, you know, because they can't all of them that want it aren't all going to be regional hosts. So it's going to be very interesting, a lot of scoreboard watching, but LSU's focus will have to be on Auburn for this Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. We're visiting with Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Brian, LSU football, the recruiting trail, what's the very latest?
Well, you're in the May evaluation period right now, and LSU's going out and just, you know, trying to visit high schools around the country and make contacts and see what they want to do. You know, they had a kid, you know, decommitted to Texas, I guess at the end of last week. Mm-hmm. But look, we're still. There's not going to be, I don't think, any commitment at this time. And we'll just see how things go. Somebody was talking last night about LSU, recruiting, and I asked the question, how about a quarterback? Are they gonna get a commitment and from a good quarterback? Because we all know that's if LSU would ever get that, everybody would feel a lot better.
Speaking of quarterbacks, you took the words out of my mouth. Miles Brennan set to come to Tiger Town in the next couple of weeks. I thought the initial prognosis was gain some weight, redshirt a year, and then come and play. I don't think that's in the offing now, unless he comes in and just can't get it done. I think he has a chance to really move up the charts and become maybe a factor for this team based upon what we've seen so far. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Look, I think if Miles Brennan has to play this year, I don't think that's a good sign. Because I don't think he's going to be physically ready. Look, he's coming, first of all, he's not coming from a big-time high school program playing,
True.
At St. Stanislaus. I can just,
I know.
Now, no, they played Brother Martin each of the last 2 years, and both years it got beat something in the vicinity of 40-7.
Right.
So, it's now that's not just him but it shows you the competition that they've been playing against. And I think he hopes to be redshirted. And look, here's one thing, and I wrote this a couple of days ago. Look, heading into when LSU begins practice in August, and I can't remember. It's been a long while since LSU's had this. There are 8 players who have questions about their availability. 4 on offense, and these 4 are all very key. Danny Etling, who's coming off. We've talked about this before.
No such thing as minor.
Minor.
Yes, no such
back
thing.
procedure. No such thing. Okay. So he's coming off a back. John David Moore, who didn't play in the spring game, and people say, well, LSU doesn't use the fullback. No, but he's going to play a key role because LSU is going to be using the H-back and the tight end, and LSU's best combination would be is John David Moore as the H-back and Foster Morrow as the tight end. That's the best combination they can put out on the field. And then you have Will Clapp and Toby Weathersby on the offensive line, and look, both of those guys have been plagued by injuries.
Yes.
The last couple of years. Now, Clapp's played most of the time. Weathersby hasn't. But look, those are 4 guys that when August practice comes, they need to be healthy. That's on offense. Now, let's go over to defense. You got Christian Lockhart, who's, recovering from the knee surgery. He had some scar tissue problems. He didn't go through contact in spring. He needs to be healthy because you don't have a whole lot of depth on the defensive line. Arden Key, his personal issues. All the reports are that he's going to be fine, and when they report in June, he's going to be back with the team. But until he's got to not have any reoccurrence and make sure he's on everything that works out. And then you have Donnie Alexander, who had surgery on his shoulder as a starting inside linebacker who's a senior. You want to make sure he's healthy. And then you have John Battle, who sat out the last week of spring. Really undisclosed injuries other than what Ed Ogeron described. He's got a few bumps and bruises and things that will get fixed up. But look, that's 8 guys, 4 on offense, 4 on defense, that are going to play vital roles on this team.
Yes, you're right.
And they need to be healthy. They need to be healthy for LSU to be as good a team as it can be in the fall.
I agree totally. No question.
And I agree with the point you make, Brian, that if Miles Brennan is in the mix, it's not a good thing. And certainly if he has to play against Brigham Young, that's a commentary on lack of depth and talent at the quarterback position.
And I put number 5, Darius Geis, in a bubble, June, July, and August, and have him ready to run come September.
Well, it's always a little, he's got to get some contact, but you don't want him to get too much. Look, if the same thing happens to him and happened to Fournette last year where he, his ankle in August and he's never 100%, that's really going to hurt the LSU running game Because, look, Darrell Williams is a solid backup, but Darrell Williams isn't a backup like Darius Geis was last year.
He's a backup, right? There's a reason.
You know, Darius Geis was a starter who was the number 2 back last year.
Yeah.
Darrell Williams is a backup, and if Geis goes out for any extended period, now your top 2 running backs are Darrell Williams and Nick Brossette. That's a big dip.
He needs a little contact, but not in scrimmages. Don't go for tackling ankles and knees, and just keep him wrapped up and let him run. Let him run when it counts.
You're right.
Brian, tell everybody what's happening at TigerBait.com.
www.tigerbait.com. A little bit of everything right now. I got a basketball story that went up on the site today. Just Will Wade's working hard, working like an NBA general manager, trying to find get 13 players to make next year's team as good as it can be. And he's got his staff complete now, and he's still juggling the roster. He's back at the situation where he's got an open spot. So I know he's seeking a graduate transfer and come in and play right away to help be somebody who can play point guard. But so we have some basketball coverage and obviously the baseball series with Auburn. And then we'll be starting a series at the end of this week, looking at where the LSU's football opponents stand at the end of spring practice.
Oh, good deal. Good deal.
All right, Brian, as always, appreciate your time, and keep up the great work at TigerBait.com.
Okay, thanks. Talk to you guys later.
See you, bud.
All right, always enjoy visiting with Brian. A lot of times on Wednesdays we can't catch him because the baseball team's playing, but we were able to connect with him with the Thursday, Friday, Saturday series with Auburn coming up.
I love those Thursday, Friday, Saturdays personally.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Right? I like having the Sunday off. it gives us more to talk about in our business, But I kind of like it, and I think if you ask the players and coaches, they like it too.
Yeah, right. And now that they're done with exams, they like just doing baseball every day. So
they do, man.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about this LSU quarterback position, and we're going to get some comments from Coach Orgeron about the minor back surgery procedure. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Christ saying, spread the roar. We're coming right back.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-779-1032, 800-779-1032.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis. Not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Tigers Roar. I want to remind you about the radio station WUBR. We've got our own app. Go to the App Store or Google Play, search WUBR. We're an affiliate of CBS Sports Radio. Great mixture of local and national programming with the Jordy Hultberg Show. Coach Roger Cato, one more week of talking baseball. A little interesting story with Southern adding 2 games to the schedule this week, one pertaining to SWAC play. Buddy Sanji, myself, Dave Scantoliato on Fridays. Saturday mornings, Carlos Brown, the franchise, and through the night, Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio hosted by Mike Shepard. Select Houston Astros baseball games for you as well. That's all on WUBR. Check it out. Get our app. Get the TuneIn app. Take us with you 24/7.
How come we have Carlos Brown, the franchise,
That's his
and Buddy
nickname.
Sanji, the Bud Man? How come you and I don't have?
But they call me TK sometimes.
TK. I can't tell you what they call
well, we
me.
got to get you. Blind Bomber? We can't go with that much anymore.
Easy,
Back in the day, he had the Blind Bomber.
Now, why you got to go down that road? Come on.
Well,
man.
I mean, you were looking for nicknames.
Come on.
Or do you have one that you want to let everyone know
Not
about?
that I want to share. No,
Okay.
no, we'll just leave that alone.
There you go. So don't forget
Thanks a lot.
WUBR.
Look at that lettuce you've got on your head and compared to me. That's not fair.
Plenty of great stuff, but it's still
That's
there.
not fair. Oh, yeah,
Hey,
you got it.
LSU quarterback, Jordy, why is it that
I don't have the answer?
They cannot come up with a quarterback. I know in the 90s, Florida State would have had a place kicker. They might have had at least 1, maybe 2 more national titles. They had field goal problems. But other than the Matt Mock, Matt Flynn, and Zach Mettenberg had a very good year his last year, the quarterback has just been a thorn in the side at LSU, and I got to believe Ed Orgeron knows that, and I'm sure he and the staff are working hard trying to get some quarterbacks in line coming in, be it Lowell Narcisse, be it Miles Brennan, but you can't stop there. You got to go get 2 more to come in with the next signing class.
I don't have the answer. It is, boy, they've missed out on a bunch. They've had some come in and then transfer, and they had others right there telling them commit, and then at the last minute decommit to go to Florida. They've had a whole bunch of them, and we'll see. I have a question for you related to quarterback and offense. What do you think would have been the LSU football sentiment if, as the report came out, Lane Kiffin was coming to LSU, and then at the 23rd hour got the opportunity to coach at Florida Atlantic? If Lane Kiffin were the offensive coordinator and we never even thought of a Matt Canada, what do you think the LSU fan base would be feeling right now?
I would have been all for it. I'm not sure that the LSU fan base was into it as much as I and some other people were. I mean, I see the results he had at Bama. Proof's in the pudding, okay? Yeah. He's got baggage, but a lot of people have baggage.
Sure.
But I'd have been all for it. But I think the fan base, they're into Matt Canada, and they're playing wait and see. I think they'd have been into Lane Kiffin with even more wait and see, expecting more. I think they would have expected magic against Brigham Young on September 2nd, whereas with Matt Canada, I think they're just expecting to see things get better.
I think fan base would have said, hey, we beat you, Saban. We got one of yours. You took one of our recruits. We got your offensive coordinator. They got you to 3 consecutive or whatever it was that won you a couple of national championships. So I'm just very curious. There's a lot of pressure on Matt Canada, and we'll see. Quarterback, again, I do believe Danny Etling is going to be the person because he's got starts. But he's got to be able on 3rd and 5 make that 7-yard completion in the big game on the big stage.
And speaking of Danny Etling, we got some comments from Coach Ed Orgeron after the procedure on his back. Here's Tiger football coach Ed Orgeron.
Again, Dave Arana is one of the best in the business. We have an outstanding coaching staff.
12 players getting selected by a team, whether it be through the draft or free agency. How much can that signal that LSU is a place where you can have your dreams?
Well, it shows that, first of all, we had Leonard Fournette, who was one of the top players in the country from South Louisiana, Tre'Davious Wright from North Louisiana, and Jamal Adams from Dallas. Those are 3 areas that we go target in recruiting. All 3 of those guys were highly recruited. All 3 of those guys came to LSU. They're very close to graduation. Jamal Adams has already graduated and their first-round draft pick. So that means that they go to school, we graduate 88% of our young men, and we develop them into NFL players.
Tre'Davious, of course, a Green Oaks grad here. We're talking to Michael earlier. It's almost like Buffalo's trying to make him the face of the franchise already. Does that surprise you, just how he's handled himself so far?
Well, he's a great young man. He's a class act. He's a great young man. We wish him the best. Buffalo got them a fantastic football player.
Coach, how's Danny doing? I know he had the minor.
Saw him today. He's doing well. He was walking the first day. Danny's tough. He's a competitor. I expect him to be back in 4 or 5 weeks throwing the football, going 7-on-7 on their own out there. I expect him to compete to be the starter. He's a 5th-year senior. He's a great young man.
Let's just hope all of that goes well. I think Coach Orgeron's tap dancing around the thing a little bit. He's got to do that. I expect that. I'm not being critical when I say that. I'm just saying he's probably, like Danny Etling, hoping everything's going to be okay. As of today, as we sit here in the middle of May, there is time. Time's available. Once we get to August, there may not be time. Hey, let's take a break, come back, and keep rolling with more Tigers Roar. Don't forget Cox Cable and AT&T UVerse. The original airing each week a Wednesday night. If you're catching it Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you have a rebroadcast going. We appreciate you watching it whenever you can. And it's available mid-morning on Thursdays at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. We're back after this pause. Stay with us.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Tigers Roar still to come a little bit later. Ronnie Ramsey, Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation getting ready to have their big induction ceremony coming up a little more than a month from now. Jordy, it has come to the attention, the NCAA committee recommended a lot of changes to the football world of college football. Well, they jumped ahead. They're supposed to vote on in June and approved an early signing date. There'll be a couple of day window in December.
3 days,
where kids can sign. You know, it's always been the first Wednesday in February, the whole bit. And everything I could tell is split. About half of the coaches were all, you know, hey, let's have an early signing period. A lot of coaches, including Ed Orgeron, didn't want it, but it will be in effect this coming year, 2 signing days.
I'm all in favor of it. I think if a kid knows exactly where he wants to go, boom, let's sign and get it over with. I don't know why coaches would be complaining about that.
Well, you know, signing day can be a vicious 24 hours leading up to and signing day.
Coaches are creatures of habit, too.
Yeah, but now they got to do it twice, is what they're saying, you know, and there's going to be pressure. I mean, it's creating.
What about that?
I don't want to say it's creating more work because they work their tails off anyway, recruiting, but it's changing the landscape of how they're going to have to go about it. And I think Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com said it well a couple of weeks ago. Okay, let's do this for a couple of years. And then if it's bad or it needs adjustment, go ahead and make the adjustment. I mean, I'm willing to have an open mind. Let's see how it flows for a couple of years and then take it from there.
The other situation was talking about the American Football Coaches Association came up with this idea of proposing a rule where players could play a maximum of 4 games and still not lose their red shirt year. So, in other words, if a Leonard Fournette or a Christian McCaffrey misses a bowl game because of an injury or whatever, you could play some players that hadn't played all year in a bowl game situation. I don't think it's that big of a deal, personally. I don't know what it's going to do. Some people say it's going to save bowl games. How is a backup going to save a bowl game?
Well, bowl games are in a precarious spot. You made the comment 2 weeks ago right after the draft, you know, Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey.
Didn't hurt them.
LSU, Stanford, respectively, you know, didn't go play in the bowl game for whatever the reason. And, you know, 4th and 8th, I want to say, in the draft. Right. So I think, as you accurately stated a couple weeks ago, unless this is a college football playoff situation, there's going to be more and more big-name guys. Absolutely. Not to mention there'll be other guys, too, that think they have an opportunity to say, you know, I'm not going to that, you know, fried chicken bowl game. I'm not going to go play in Memphis this game. I got to get ready for the draft.
I agree totally. I don't know how the guy who was redshirted, in other words, he wasn't good enough to make your top 3 in the rotation. How is that person going to all of a sudden make LSU fans want to go to Tampa to watch him play as the future of the program? I don't see it personally. I know a lot of people do. I'm just not sold on it.
The other thing, no more 2-a-days in football practice. That's been
Does anybody really do that anymore?
I don't know. I know they've all gotten away from it, or very, very limited, or one practice. You know, the 2-a-days is not full gear both times, hitting in the morning, hitting in the evening.
One's a walkthrough, special teams.
You know, got your helmet on and they're talking to you. But, you know, it's all part of this direction of safety and,
I'm telling you,
and all of that.
Soon spring's going to be non-contact.
Spring football games are going to go away.
Spring football games are going to be non-contact, and it's less and less because there's too much potential for litigation down the road.
Well, and the other reason spring football is going to go away, they can't make money on it no more. I mean, nobody, you know, it's free this year. I think last year it was free. A couple of years ago it was $5, something like that. So they got to get another way to make money. What's the latest on the beer garden? I mean, I haven't heard anything in a couple of weeks.
It's quiet. It's in Commissioner Slive's hands right now, and
but I don't think LSU would have got that out there if they didn't think it was going to happen.
I still think it's going
to be there.
Because
they opened themselves, if the opening
I still think it's going to be there the second Saturday of September.
September 9, Chattanooga's in
How else are you going to get people in 98-degree weather to come see LSU play Chattanooga? Anyway.
Beer garden?
No.
Well, no, they got, you know, but
I'm all for LSU, and they're trying to generate income. That's what it's all about. Athletic director that's his job, is to generate income, and he gets the mandate from the president, make enough where you can contribute to the university side, the academic side. And LSU does it, and does it faithfully and religiously, and good for them. Good. So generate income. Do what you want.
Yeah, and they're all schools are facing this now. I mean, we see more and more schools that are adding, they've had some that have added the beer sales, and then they're pumping out the numbers that they're making, and other ADs are seeing that and saying, aha.
And you see why they set up these made-for-TV matchups in the beginning of the season at neutral sites, because they're getting paid $3 million plus to go do it.
But are they getting paid more than what they make on a home game?
I think they probably do, or they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but...
Or it's comparable.
Yeah,
it is comparable.
But then there's the string attached.
There's a lot of expenses involved with having a home game.
Yeah, but when you have a home game, hotel rooms are filled, restaurants,
I understand.
grocery stores, gas stations.
I don't think LSU's...
There's money changing hands that doesn't change hands when they're at a neutral
I don't
site.
think LSU's basically thinking about that. They're thinking on a broad scale, spreading their brand. They always go to recruiting
happens
bases.
on the bottom line of the budget?
They go into recruiting bases, and how much money can we make as compared to how much we have to spend. And if that all balances out, then we're good.
Then you got a neutral site game, be it Houston, Arlington, Atlanta.
They're going to do one in New Orleans. They're going to go to Atlanta. They go to Houston. They go to Arlington. I think those are the 4 spots that they would end up going to.
Yeah, New Orleans, when they going there?
Oh, I think they should. I think they will.
They aren't close enough?
I think they will. There's a lot of LSU fans there. It's a big recruiting base.
LSU Tulane football camp. But that wouldn't have went over real good when you and I were youngsters. That wouldn't have flew real well.
LSU said, Tulane, hey, what are you thinking?
Yeah, you get Harbaugh out of here.
Look at the big picture, dude. Look at the big picture. We can help you or we can hurt you. You help us, we'll help you.
Well, like, Orgeron said he likes the idea that Willie Fritz and Tulane are trying to do more. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if Willie Fritz can get Tulane back
It's a different level. It's a different level.
Well, no, I know. And they're really not recruiting the same kids. I would say 2 a year might have a significant interest from both. That's it. So I don't think LSU's hurting Tulane. I think it's helping Tulane.
And again, I'm not saying LSU did that, but I'm saying they did that.
In other words, you don't have the video.
I don't have the video.
You don't have the video.
Hey, what are you thinking, Green Wave? Dude, what are y'all thinking?
Hey, what you think about this overnight? I'm going to call you back tomorrow, and you tell me what you're going to do. Huh?
I don't have to call you back tomorrow. I can tell you right now. You're right. Okay, they're done. They're gone.
Yeah, that's good stuff there. Hey, as we told you, the original airing of this program, Wednesday nights. If you're catching it Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you have a rebroadcast going. But we appreciate you watching it when you can. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting has this program and many other things that we do available for you to watch it at your convenience. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. So like us on Facebook. Facebook page is Pelican Broadcasting. The Twitter account is @Pelican Sports. So keep up with us. Connect in the social media world, as that's where kind of everything is and is going to stay. He's Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Chrysan, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. Internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar. We've got more. Stay with us.
It's a mail
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-471-9811. 800-471-9811.
DLA Painting Incorporated is your company for professional painting, serving the greater Baton Rouge area and South Louisiana for over 20 years. Ready to paint for those recovering from flood, residential repaint, commercial painting, any size job, free estimates. Customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Call 225-505-8785. DLA Painting Incorporated, fully insured. Call Dennis at DLA Painting at 225-505-8785.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net. Tigers Roar, Jody Holtberg, Tommy Chrysan with you. We're now joined by Ronnie Rance of Sports Shorts TV, Sports Shorts Radio, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. Ronnie, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great, fella.
Man, got that picture up. Looked like you belonged at the Kentucky Derby, man. You're looking good.
I wish I was at the Derby.
Me too.
Hey, Ronnie, month of May is crunch time for all college baseball, in particular LSU and the SEC. And 2 out of 3 against South Carolina, a team that was probably a little better than their league record indicated coming in, especially with the ace of their staff being out. Your thoughts on that 2 out of 3 against South Carolina?
Well, it was a must-win, fellas, because, you know, I think LSU, by virtue of they've done all year long in the midweeks, haven't helped themselves. I mean, look at last night. They had a chance to help their RPI and make a better case for hosting the regional, and they couldn't take advantage of it. So, you know, that said, they knew they had South Carolina with a 10-11 record coming in to that weekend on the docket. And then next you got Auburn, who at the time was red hot, and although they lost 3 in a row to Alabama over the weekend, which was the shocker of the world. And then but Mississippi State's number 1 in the SEC, and they're waiting on the back end at their place. So he knew the last 2 series were going to be super tough for LSU. So this was the one at home against a team that struggled scoring runs all year. You had to win that series, and they got it done. It was scary on Sunday, 17 hits, and it took extra innings to win it. But they did get it done, and that puts themselves in a good position where I think if they go 3-3 in their last 6 conference games and just do anything at the SEC tournament, that they're going to probably end up being one of the top 16 teams in the country and will host a regional.
Man, do you have any eligibility left? Can you go out there and throw an inning from the bullpen, please?
I think between Tommy and I, we could get 2 guys out. I really believe that.
That seems to be okay. I'll sign you up right now because I don't know what you get when you go to this bullpen other than Hess and Newman after that. It's just inconsistently consistent.
I mean, how about the fact that, I mean, there's just, and I'm not going to name names, but there's 2 or 3 guys that pitched last night in that South Alabama game that don't need to be wearing a uniform at this point in the season. You know, you can't even count on them. They're not going to be on the team next year, but yet they threw them. And it's amazing that LSU, the program it is, that's got 17 guys on the roster that have a P next to their name, and yet they've got to go, well, without Newman and Hess, we knew it was going to be tough to win. Like, no, it's tough to win a midweek game against another team who, by the way, in South Alabama, who's not throwing their best either. They threw a freshman who shoved for 6 innings against LSU. They're playing for the weekend as well. So that's just unbelievable that they can't develop more than about 5 pitchers because that's all they've got right now.
Between you and Tommy, both pitchers back in the day, that just seems to me it puts so much pressure. Alex Lang and Jared Poche, they got to get to the 7th inning minimum because you run out of arms.
Yeah, I mean, Hess and Newman are going to have to pitch probably back-to-back at least a couple of times in regionals. And, with Newman with the back injury and the fact that he doesn't throw hard to begin with, and he was shaky over the weekend, you don't know how well he's going to be in back-to-back. And Hess doesn't have a lot of experience. So there's a tremendous amount to be nervous about if you're an LSU baseball fan. They have the potential to turn it on and beat anybody, but they also have the potential to turn it off and lose to anybody.
Ronnie, classes are over. They've taken their exams. You've been there, done that. Is this team feeling pressure? It's all baseball now. The expectations are through the roof. Paul Maneri was very adamant, saying, we want to go to Omaha. He said that on media day. We're not afraid to say that. That's what we want. Is this team feeling some pressure, and do you think that pressure will increase this week against Auburn and next week on the road against Mississippi State?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, look, when you're at 19, 20 years old and they tell you have no more finals, I mean, that's the best feeling in the world.
Amen, brother.
And so there's no doubt they'll have a little juice with that. I think it'll help them kind of focus on what they've got to do down the stretch. The key for this team, I really believe, is that I think there's a lot of eye on this team. I think there's a lot of guys looking towards June draft and worried about what that next step is going to be. And I think if they can come together and not worry about next year and just focus on the next, 40 days and just simply go out there and try to win a championship, that's what this team means. They need to be more we and less me, and I think that can make a difference.
One team that was all about we and not about me was a team that was honored Saturday, the 1997 team, with a record that I don't think will ever be broken, the 188 home runs, Larson with 40. That was a team just played bashball. They just outscored you, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was, you're right, Jordy. 188 homers is never going to be broken because the bats are different, and it's a totally different deal. So that'll record will stay forever. But, think about that team, which was so incredible, and it gives you tip of the cap to Skip. It gives you a tip of the cap to where the program was and the fan base and everything was at that time. Remember, in 1997, LSU had just won 3 national championships in 6 years, came off the Warren Morris homer the year before. But they lost a ton of guys from that team and had a bunch of junior college transfers, Wes Davis, Danny Higgins, Brandon Larson, guys like Tom Bernhardt, who weren't big contributors for the first 4 years. He was a fifth-year senior that year. They were a lot of guys. They lost Kevin Shipp, their ace, at the beginning of the season. That was a team that easily could have not, gone to Omaha, but instead it became one of the more dominant teams ever in the history of LSU, and it just gives you the plug-and-play mentality that they had back then, the confidence that they had back then, that if they just had Tigers across their chest, they were better than the other teams. And quite honestly, I think Alabama had a better team than LSU that year, but LSU just outplayed them when it mattered most.
Got to give Jim Schwanke a lot of credit, right? He was on the recruiting path and got those kids to come in after that.
The blast hitting system.
Yes.
Front foot, look for the fastball away early in the count and let it fly.
I remember Larson hit one against Rice in Omaha. I don't think I've ever seen a ball get off a bat that quick and go that high and get out of the yard so quickly. It went over the light poles, right?
That came off of Matt Anderson.
Yes.
The first pick in the draft that year, and Matt Anderson threw literally 97 to 100 miles an hour. And for whatever reason, instead of throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, he decided to throw a slider and hung like a 92-mile-an-hour slider. And Brandon was swinging fastball bat speed and ran into a 92-mile-an-hour slider and hit it over the lights.
So was that blast bigger than Lyle Mouton's in 91?
And boy, that's great. Mouton hit his dead center 420 at the old Rosenblatt
off of Florida,
and they brought the fence. The fences were 420, and then that backdrop was probably about 35, 40 feet up in the air.
That's ridiculous.
So his was a solid 450-ish probably blast, where Larson's was somewhere between 450 and 500. They were both. If you would have put Lyle Mouton in with a -5 bat, it would have gone further than Brandon Larson.
I will still put the one I saw at the old box when Albert, don't call me Joey Bell, hit one over the left field wall, hit the second set of student housing apartments on the fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway, had some big boppers back in the day, man. Don't have many now, but had them back in the day.
They usually show movies on flights that long.
The guy that could have played in that era.
Yes, he could have. Yes, he could.
It would have been fun to see with that -5 bat in his hand.
Yeah, and speaking of that, now I was there. He hit a home run against Ole Miss one night, and like a guy sitting a couple of seats over from me, on his app, they knew it went 462 feet or whatever it was.
Really?
I mean, they know like instantly. There's an app you can get to know how far the ball flew. Isn't that amazing?
Way too smart for me.
Yeah, that's something else. Hey, Ronnie, before you go ahead.
Beckman hit 1/485 this year. It went over the Intimidator in right field. That's the longest home run they've ever tracked at LSU in the new box.
There you go. Ronnie, tell us all about Sports Shorts TV, Sports Shorts Radio, and next month's a big month at the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Tell us all about the things coming up.
Well, Sports Shorts TV right here on Pelican, of course, Mondays at 9, Tuesdays at 8. Check it out. And then, of course, Sports Shorts Radio, ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge. Myself, Joel Davis, Buzzy Heidel, talking, of course, a ton of college baseball this time of year. And we're Monday night, 6 to 8 on ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge. But we're really excited, fellas, because the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is getting close. We're under 2 months away. The 2017 class is about to get inducted. Some LSU names, the D.D. Bros, the Eddie Kennisons, the David Toms, the Ray Didiers. They're going in, but they're joining, of course, Juan Pierre and Ed Reed and Calvin Burrell and Jim Henderson and others. And so we're excited. I'll actually be in Lafayette tonight at the Cajun Dome for Peyton Manning's going to be speaking to a high school banquet over there, over 1,000 kids. Yeah. And myself and Kevin Falk and Yvette Gerard and D.D. Bro are going to be there representing the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. So looking forward to that. And for more info, go to lasportshall.com. You can get tickets to golf tournaments, a free block party, all the great events we have going on.
Now, look, they had DD Day in Donaldsonville. And,
they sure did last week.
Yeah, you just have those people come. You're going to have to put a whole bunch of more tables, some bleachers, standing room only. They love them some DD in Donaldsonville now.
As well they should.
Yes.
40 years she's been represented that city well.
Absolutely.
All right, Ronnie, as always, thanks for your time, and we enjoyed the visit.
All right, guys.
Take care, man.
All right, that's Ronnie Rance, always busy kind of guy there with all that good stuff.
Calvin Borrell.
Yeah. Bunch of them.
Wasn't on Always Dreaming, but that's okay.
I've got to make time. Next time I'm near.
You haven't been there.
I haven't been to the new Sports Hall of Fame. I went with the old one when it was over there in the
You got to get away from the restaurants and the good eats and take a walk down the block.
I need to, next time I get anywhere close to Natchitoches, I need to make time to go and view that. Because I know I'll enjoy it. I mean, and it's everybody I know that's been says it's fabulous.
On the way, I can't remember the exit it is, but there is a place about half a mile, when you get off the interstate, half a mile, it's pies. They special.
Lee's.
Yes.
In LeComte.
Yes.
I've been there.
Oh.
You need to go there.
I've been there.
Chocolate pie.
I've been there. The meringue's about that high. Love it. I had to go do a ball.
He's telling me stay out of it.
I knew he knew the food. I knew you would know where the food is.
Man, it's
in LeComte. That's right.
Food, huh?
Right before Alec.
When we take a break, we're going to come back.
Know it.
Tell you about some more good food over at Tremonti's. We'll do that when we
knows
return
where the grub
here
is.
on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Ah, it's beautiful.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
DLA Painting Incorporated is your company for professional painting, serving the greater Baton Rouge area and South Louisiana for over 20 years. Ready to paint for those recovering from flood, residential repaint, commercial painting, any size job, free estimates. Customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Call 225-505-8785. DLA Painting Incorporated, fully insured. Call Dennis at DLA Painting at 225-505-8785.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. With Tigers Roar, we went to break talking about food. We're going to tell you about more food, and that's at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood.
I know about that place. I really do. Great stuff each and every day. Tremontis.com, the website, will tell you everything they have on the menu, the daily lunch specials, their catering activities. They've got boiled crawfish each and every day, or you can take a sack home yourself and do it yourself. Mother's Day, right around the corner this weekend. Give them a call, 751-7665. Get in the queue. And make sure that they know exactly how many pounds of crawfish you want so they can accommodate everyone. Tremontis.com. While you're there, you can pick up all the beers that you want, all the wines, all the spirits. Everything you want is right there within the friendly confines of Tremonti's at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway.
There you go. Good stuff. I did the Tuesday crawfish special this week.
10 pounds for $24.99. You can't beat it.
Outstanding. Really good. My son and I enjoyed it and ate all 10 pounds each of us did.
In a heartbeat.
No problem
Yeah.
there. Hey, Jordy, back to this LSU baseball stuff where, we talked with Brian Lazar last hour and Ronnie Rance and you and I, and kind of the underlying theme is that, this team might not be as good as lots of people thought, certainly before the season, and even after the season got going, it was still those high expectations. I mean, Paul Maneri's not shy about saying, hey, we know we got to go to Omaha. We want to win a national championship, hosting a regional and being a national seed, we want that to be part of it. But, and then now, as I asked Ronnie Rance, this team, the pressure is on. I mean, pressure is on from the first pitch this Thursday night against Auburn until the last pitch sometime on Saturday. The pressure is on.
And again, not to be repetitive, but I equate it to the same expectations that were coming in with LSU football. You had so many of these guys that had the opportunity to leave to go to the NFL draft, but they came back to make a run at it. This was Leonard Fournette's last year. All the Malachi Dupre, all these high-profile recruits, and the expectations were so high and for whatever reason, injury, whatever it may be, they fell short. I hope and pray that that's not the case with this LSU baseball team, who had so many players come back for another run. They wanted to go to Omaha. They had that taste of Coastal Carolina still in their mouth that beat them at the box to go to Omaha, and they wanted to come back and have their shot at it. Well, this is their shot, and now it's come down to 6 regular season SEC games. What are you going to do? Pressure? You know what the old expression is. It either produces diamonds or it bursts that pipe. So we'll see what happens.
It's going to be interesting. We got some highlights from last weekend and comments from players and whatnot that we want to share with you. And after we get through these couple of highlight packages, we'll take a look at the SEC standings as we're in the month of May and it's crunch time. But up first, the first portion of our highlight package for the series win over South Carolina.
By 2 really good teams. The difference in the game was very, very small, very slight. You know, in the second inning, you know, Alex hung a couple of 0-2 curveballs and they didn't miss them. They drove in some runs. And, you know, we had our opportunities. We twice left a runner on third base with less than 2 outs and couldn't score them. And you got to take, you know, you're not going to get a lot of great opportunities to score against good pitching staffs like South Carolina has. And, you know, at those particular moments, their pitcher just beat our hitter. You know, in the early stages there, when Alex was facing them, their hitter beat our pitcher. So that's why they scored 3 runs. I thought Alex pitched his heart out, gave it everything he had. After that second inning, you know, we hit some balls really hard early in the game and just really had some terrible fortune. You know, Watson hit a line drive right at the second baseman with the bases loaded. We hit some other balls really hard, and unfortunately they just didn't fall for us. And then, you know, at the end of the game, we were going up against, you know, one of the best relief pitchers in the league, and we had a couple chances and just couldn't quite come through with the knock that we needed. So consequently, they won a close ball game, a really good ball game, and we got to regroup and get ready for tomorrow.
Is this the type of game you expected coming into this?
Very much
almost
so.
Exactly.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, you know, I thought we did a good job against Crow. You know, he's a good pitcher, and we had some really good at-bats against him. We had a runner on third base there with nobody out and just couldn't get him in. You know, Josh popped up, and then Greg hit into the double play. Greg hit that ball hard, you know, and they'd been playing him to shift, and for some reason this particular at-bat, they had the shortstop playing over there, and they turned the double play, clutch double play on their part. You know, and we knew their bullpen, you know, Reagan and Johnson are both outstanding, and we gave ourselves a chance. We just couldn't get him home. You know, we had the runner at third base in the 8th inning with less than 2 outs where a fly ball would get him home, and unfortunately we just, you know, couldn't get it out of the infield. So that's the way it works.
Hanging a breaking ball and let the 9-hole drive in 2 runs, 2 strikes. It's 2 outs. Can't do that. Cost the team the game. That's on me. I take full responsibility. I can't hang a breaking ball to the 9-hole with guys in scoring position with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Can't do it.
It seemed like you fired up the rest of the game. I mean, what was working after that? Was it kind of just not allowing that to happen again?
Started getting ahead. They were laying off the breaking ball, so we were just pitching off the fastball and, you know, getting outs early in counts. And so that's kind of what we've been preaching all year, and that's what happened.
You're taking responsibility with innings. You get a lot of great innings, too. A lot of 3 up, 3 down innings, that sort of thing, against a team that doesn't strike out very much. Mm-hmm. Can you take any kind of pleasure in that, or
no? Because we lost. I could care less. You know, I could care less if we go 1 inning and get a win. I'm happy. If I go 9 and get a loss, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're playing for. We're playing to, you know, qualify for a good seed in the SEC tournament. Try to finish this strong. So
you gave your team a chance to win, though. You thought, you know, just talk about that, sticking out there, going in there for the 9th game.
You give up 3, you can't lay down. I mean, that's the bottom line. Friday night guys got to go as long as you can, save the bullpen as much as possible. You know, keep the team a chance to win a ball game. But just wasn't able to do it in the second. It cost my team the game.
Well, the lefty was just a crafty lefty, and you come off a guy who's had pretty good velo in their starter, and then guys up to 94, and they bring in the lefty, who's just crafty, throwing in 3 different pitches first stride, not repeating pitches often. So just kind of, we were a little bit off that balance, I thought, against him. And then obviously Johnson, when he comes in, he's been up to 100. He was at 98 or 99 tonight. So, you don't see that every day, and especially younger guys that haven't been in this league and haven't seen those kind of arms with that velocity. Sometimes you tend to get a little bit too big, wanting to muscle up against them, and that they'll learn from that. You just got to, when you face guys throwing harder like that, you just have to shorten up and let him provide the power. But the difference in the game was just we had our opportunities and we didn't execute when we had our chances, and you're not going to beat really good teams like this if you squander so many opportunities. It's not that we played a bad game. We played really well. We played good defense. Alex pitched unbelievable. He had one inning where he left a couple pitches with 2 strikes, and they made him pay for it, because that's what good teams do. But they just came up with one more big hit than we did. I don't think we came up really with any big hits. It's just that's a little bit frustrating.
Does it take kind of an emotional toll when you guys keep leaving the base and just fly ball?
I mean, yeah, but then you come back each inning and it seems like you get something going again, and you have good at bats. We had pretty good at bats all night, and we got into scoring position with less than 2 outs, which is normally we cash in on that, and we didn't tonight. I have all the confidence in the world in those guys to come through. They've done it so many times. Sometimes you just have to bear down and will it to happen, and we just squandered a couple opportunities there, and that was the difference in the game. I didn't feel that we were outplayed. They played well. We played well. It was a really good, for the most part, clean played game. A lot of talent on the field. It's definitely frustrating when you play a game like that you think you should win the game and you come up 1 run short there. It's just that eats away at you a little bit. But we're gonna have to forget about it and come back tomorrow. We have 2 more huge games. Every game's so big. So as much as this stings right now, we're gonna have to come back tomorrow and bring even more energy and be positive. If you hang your head in this league, nobody's gonna feel sorry for you, and they'll rub your face in the dirt.
When you play baseball and there's a runner on third, less than 2 outs, there's always pressure to get him in. You want to lift the fly ball into the air or get him in scoring, okay? Now in May, and this weekend against Auburn, the following weekend against Mississippi State, that pressure, as you said, is either going to burst the pipe or they're going to get it in. And I guess it's why you go to LSU to play in situations like that. It's exactly why you play college baseball to through a game of failure to find those successive times. But that pressure, I think it's going to be immense this weekend on both teams, not just LSU.
Yeah. Choke up on that stick a little bit. Make contact. Make contact. Guy's going to run on contact. Bring him home.
Everybody responds to pressure in a different way.
Yeah.
Some
I know a lot of guys.
Can't.
I know a lot of guys didn't want that ball in the hands with a couple seconds left in the game on the line. Didn't want to step to that free throw line. No, not me. Oh, no, not me.
Let somebody else do
Let somebody else shoot. Don't foul me. No, but
So
put me on the line, baby. Put me on the line.
Yeah, but it's going to be pressure packed all weekend out at the box.
Well, that's why they go to LSU, right?
I guess it's better than if they were 5-19 in league play and you're just playing out the string.
Look, we're not trying to. If we're giving the sense of negativity, that's not the case at all. It's just they still have every goal at their beck and reach if they can just get it done. But never have I seen LSU get all 3 categories like football: offense, defense, special teams, pitching, hitting, defense. Defense has been steady, but boy, the other 2 just up and down and all. They can't get a hit for Lang. They can't hit for him.
Another way to coin the phrase inconsistent is maybe not as good as people thought.
Well, maybe so. We'll find out. Let the season play out, then we'll evaluate that.
We've got some more highlights and interviews for you from Tiger Baseball over the past weekend. Here now is that for you.
This one, a fastball, cold strike 3 right down the middle. Was always the traditional power in college baseball. As a bunt is laid down, by Stokes. It's picked up by Poche. Has to double pump, throws. Coombs able to stay on the bag and hold on to the ball to get the out. He'll
the damage.
The 0-1 reaches down. Line drive fielded by Robertson. Wind and delivery. The 1-2. Outside corner at the knees. Called strike 3. They throw over looking for Robertson now. Freeman going to lay down a bunt. Perfect. Left of the mound. Hill will pick it up. There is no throw. He'll put it in his back pocket. 1-1 delivery. Little tapper in front of the mound. Picking it up. Poche looks the runner back. Now fires to first. And just beats out T.J. Hopkins. Bases loaded. 1-2 pitch. Did he go around? Indeed he did. Taylor couldn't hold back. Down on strikes. Jared Poche records his third of the night. 1-1 delivery on its way to Olsen. Ground ball to Freeman. Scoops it up. Tosses to Robertson. Close play, but in time to get the speedy Stokes at second base to end it here for the Gamecocks. He's back. 2-2 the count. Pitch. Reach. This time down the line at first. It's a fair ball. Into the corner. Coming in will be Watson. It's tied. Now they'll send Robertson. The throw not coming in. The Tigers take the lead. 2-1 on a 2 RBI single. Cole Freeman, though, never stopped running. Makes his way into third base. Duplantis, the left-hander, awaits the pitch. Hit into the air. Hopkins having to go deep in center. Freeman tagging up. He'll easily come in to score the third run of the ballgame. Duplantis with a sacrifice fly RBI. It's 3-1 Tigers.
Pitches on the night.
Off-speed delivery, a ground ball to third. Smith waits on it. Now has to make a tough throw to first. Coombs able to dig it out at first for out number 1. Poche trying to make quick work here in the 6th. The ground ball on the first pitch to Robertson. He'll scoop it up left of second base. Throw to first in time. And that will do it for the Gamecocks. They go down in order. No runs, no hits, nobody on base. 1-1 delivery. Watson puts this one into the air. A flare drops in right center field. Coming in will be Coombs. They'll go ahead and send Smith. It's a 2 RBI single off the bat of Zach Watson. And that payoff pitch to Olsen. Ground ball hit to shortstop. Short hop by Robertson. Long throw to first. Nicely done. Taylor at the plate. Hess kicks and fires. Breaking ball. Cold strike 3. Struck.
That was vintage Poche there today. He got in trouble a couple times early. Pitched out of it. He only gave up the 1 run on a bases loaded walk. Made some key pitches. And then he got stronger as the game went on. Ended up giving us 7 innings, 1-run baseball. Take that every night.
It seems like Cole's triple really changed the tone of the game.
Changed the whole attitude of the team. You know, we hadn't been getting any clutch hits. Cole stepped up there and was the leader that he was, and came through with the big hit. And then Zach Watson came through with the big hit as well. You know, those, you know, the Cole's wasn't with 2 outs, but Zach's was. Those 2-out hits give an enormous lift to your team and is very demoralizing to the other team. That's what happened last night. Their kid came through with a 2-out base hit. We didn't get the 2-out hits, and they went on to win 3-2. But tonight, you know, Watson came through with a big base hit there with 2 outs and gave us the 2 runs. Obviously, Cole's hit was the big one that kind of took the monkey off our back. I think it was probably our first hit with the runner in scoring position.
Down looking goes Olsen. Delivery upcoming. Scott looks back. Runners in motion. Ground ball gets through right side into right field. Coming around to score will be Smith. Bo Jordan hustles his way to third. An RBI single for Michael Papierski, and we're tied 1-1. Jordan takes a short lead off third. The pitch to Watson. Slow roller to third. Going to be picked up by Bride. He'll throw to second to Tolbert. The throw to first in the dirt and not in time. Watson beats it out. Jordan coming in to score, and the Tigers will take a 2-1 lead. 1-2 delivery. Breaking ball. Outside corner. Called strike 3. Jordan takes a little extra time, now awaits the 0-2 down the line. Fair ball at first base. Just got by Grosvenor at first. Jordan around first, headed into second. This ball going to be hung up under the tarp. Pitch to Watson in the dirt. Gets away from Jones. Bo Jordan will clap and run his way to home plate. And the Tigers extend the lead 3-1 on a wild pitch offered up by Reed Scott.
Think about that ground ball.
Here's a swing and a miss. Chasing that one. Breaking ball outside and low on Grosvenor. 0-1 Here's the pitch to Dykeman. Chopping ground ball. Gets through the right side into right field. Robertson around third. Throw coming in from right field is not in time. Sliding in safely is Kramer Robertson. Cuts the lead to 1 run. It's 5-4 Gamecocks. He shows bunt late. Lays one beautifully down the third base line. Barehanded by Bryant. Throw to first. Not in time. Freeman beats it out.
Now swept Mississippi 6-4.
Line drive hit right at Cole Freeman off the bat of Destino. He moved 2 little shuffles to his left. Watson awaits. 1-0 pitch. Swing. Ground ball, slow roller. The shortstop Stokes picks it up. Long throw to first. Stretch by Williams. Not in time.
Yes,
came off the bag. Coming in to score. Josh Smith, and we're tied 5-5. Comes set. Runner goes. This one, ground ball. Gets through right side. Freeman around second. He'll head into third base. Duplantis safely down at first, and the Tigers pull off the hit and run.
In the bullpen.
Johnson's pitch. Hit off the hands. Base hit into left center field. Coming in will be Freeman. Now Duplantis overran second. The ball mishandled by Tolbert. He can't apply the tag, and Duplantis is safely back. Boy. Pitch on its way, and Olsen slaps this one down the line. Fair ball in left. Duplantis having to come over. They'll send Williams around second. The ball just now coming in. They'll wave Williams in. The throw from Robertson down the line.
Got it.
Papierski got it on the one hop, and Williams is out at home. This one hit in the air, drops down. Tiger fans drive home safely. Tigers win, Tigers win. Duplantis with his 5th hit of the day. Drives in Zach Watson, and the Tigers take the series 2-1.
One way or another, it can be a different outcome. But obviously, it was a total team effort today. Everybody played a role, did something, stepped up. Our veterans really came through when we needed them today. It's just, it's such a good feeling going in 15-9 rather than 14-10. We had such an opportunity with some of the things that were going around the league, and we didn't want to waste that. And we took advantage of it today, and we're right where we want to be. All of our goals are still ahead of us with 2 SEC series to go.
Did you think you had any chance at him when he threw the relay to you?
I was just saying, I wasn't sure. I mean, originally, no. Once he got stuck in the fence, I wasn't thinking we were probably going to be able to get him. But I knew if Antoine made a perfect throw to me and I was able to get it in quick and made a good throw to Mike, we'd maybe have a chance. And Mike made an unbelievable pick and tag, and I was pretty fired up.
We continue with Tigers Roar. As we mentioned, it's crunch time for all the conferences, the Southland and the SWAC. I mean, everybody's heating up. Let's take a look at the Eastern Division standings in the SEC. Florida leapfrog over Kentucky. Kentucky lost 2 out of 3 to Georgia. That was
best
at
team
home.
in the league.
That wasn't really expected, but Florida on top in the East. After Florida and Kentucky, there's a little bit of a drop-off, especially when you get down towards the bottom. But Vanderbilt and South Carolina not doing as well as people thought they would. Carolina's had some injuries, as we mentioned. Clark Schmidt, their ace pitcher, out for the year. Tommy John surgery. But Florida has separated themselves in the East.
I think they're the best team in the league. I think they got the best pitching staff. I think they'll cruise in from here.
And turning to the West, where we find LSU 1 game behind Mississippi State. Mississippi State has also had a lot of injuries this season, but they've been able to persevere through that now. Arkansas 1 less game. They lost in a rain out with Tennessee. It will not be made up. That's an SEC rule. A&M and Auburn sitting right there, a couple of games behind Mississippi State. Ole Miss on the outside looking in. Bama sweep at Auburn, man.
That's the unthinkable.
And you know that Alabama-Auburn thing. You know that was big over there with
Saved
Bama.
that coach's job for a year.
Yeah, well, it's his first year.
Yeah,
so
but still.
Yeah. But anyway, so Mississippi State, and of course LSU has to go to Starkville, not this weekend, but the next weekend. And once again, LSU, last night they lose to South Alabama. Didn't have all their regular players, some pitchers that couldn't go. South Alabama overcomes a deficit, wins 7-6, and you see Thursday, Friday, Saturday with Auburn. It's going to be crunch time, pressure time at the box, no question about that.
It's always curious. There'll be a lot of, as you say, scoreboard watching. I'm not sure who the other team, like I don't know who Mississippi State plays this weekend, but boy, it'll be interesting to see. But you got to take care of your own business, and again, this team will only go as far as Poche and Lang take them. And Lang's got to pitch really, really well. They got to give him some run support. They got to give him a lead. You give him a lead, now he's in control. And I think that's the big key. You know, it's all the cliches. But if LSU can get out the gate quickly, now you got Auburn thinking, uh-oh, here we go again. We've already lost 4 in a row. Now we're behind on the road. Lang is pitching well. I just think that's the key. You can't, when you got a team like Auburn who's struggling, and in any sport, boy, when you got them down, you got to keep them down and make them start to play those head games. Now you're in control.
And you do less scoreboard watching when you win. You know, if
True.
you win, you don't glance
That's
quite
so
as
true.
often. If you're losing, you're like, uh-oh, we're not doing well. Let's see who else might not be doing well. You know, so
who's helping us?
That's all part of it. And the weather's supposed to be fine for the series with Auburn. So again, there's only 4 regular season games remaining, and it's not a given that LSU hosts a regional.
May have some problems Friday. Rain. May have some problems
okay.
Friday.
I didn't look that far
we'll
ahead. I looked the other day. All right, LSU softball. The softball team's a little bit ahead of baseball in the big picture schedule as they've got their SEC tournament getting underway. LSU playing Missouri on Wednesday of this week. Again, if you're catching a replay of this show, you may already know that score, but they did finish with a win in the South Carolina series, 12-12 in league play. That's not what Beth Torina wanted. 38-17 overall. And the SEC tournament is up in Knoxville. Tigers are going to have to do really well there. They'll be in the postseason, I would think. But that
Not
softball, like some of the other sports, has not done as well as people thought they would.
No question about it. I think they would say a little bit of disappointment. But here again, you get hot at the right time.
Jordy, in the big picture of LSU athletics, okay?
Bad year.
Other than gymnastics, it's not been a good year.
Golf's a good year. They're good.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but the big ones.
Football changed coaches, basketball changed coaches. The women's basketball kind of got going at the end a little bit, did get to the tournament.
Baseball, so far, maybe a disappointment. It's been a disappointing
And then
year.
you take it to the next level. Of course, gymnastics is incredible. Tennis coach leaves after 20 years. So it's been a not a good year.
You find that out that the tennis coach resigned
Well,
right after he's been there for 20 years, or right after they built the new tennis complex with the indoor courts. You think he resigned?
Plus, he played tennis at LSU back in the day. So
mutual decision.
I don't think he
You can read
resigned.
between those tea leaves.
Yeah, and they haven't had as much success now as they did in the first part of
better
his
win,
tenure.
and that's Joe Oliva's job, and I commend him for that. You win, or else there's the door.
Yeah, well,
There's the door.
There's a lot. We talk about pressure on the baseball team.
Oh,
There's pressure in the
everywhere.
athletic office.
Oh,
there's
from
pressure
top to bottom.
on the budget. There's pressure galore out there. It's big business.
No question.
Money, money, money. Hey, we'll take a break. Come back. We'll have more. He's Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Kreisam. Spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Cox Cable, AT&T Uverse, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com.
you're saying it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Check us out.
Wow, that's scary.
We'll be back.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy, speaking of pressure, the NBA playoffs are going, and you can get all of that information by tuning in to WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, home of the Jim Rome Show and Jim Rome Sports Minute, Monday through Fridays at 4:58. A great mixture of local and national programming, including Jordy Hultberg. Another week of talking baseball with Coach Roger Kadar. 12 noon on Mondays with a replay at 5 o'clock. Buddy Sanji, myself, Dave Scantoliato, Carlos Brown, Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio hosted by Mike Shepard, select Houston Astros baseball as well. Get our app. Go to your app store or Google Play. Search for WUBR AM 910. It's free. Won't cost you anything. We're not leaving tune in. We want you to get our app. Got two different ways you can take us wherever you go 24/7. And appreciate you telling folks about WUBR, 9:10 a.m. in Baton Rouge. Jordy, the NBA playoffs getting closer to the finals, the conference finals. Looks like it's just a collision path for Golden State and Cleveland.
Looks like.
It is a collision path, huh? That's the two best teams.
No question about it. They'll go for the third straight year. Golden State won 2 years ago. Cleveland won last year when they were down 3-1 and somehow figured out a way. This is to split the tie. So
this will be it. So
all this other stuff is just
really the only way we have a story is if one of them's not in the finals.
Correct.
Then
Correct.
you got something to look into and read about.
Or, I hate to say this, or somebody gets a win against them in the championship round. Both teams have swept 2 series in a row. So, yeah.
And the other teams know this, too, right? Even the ones that are still playing.
Oh, yeah.
They're like.
But it's interesting, we're seeing one of the greatest players to ever play the game in his prime, in LeBron James, who is one of the very, very few people who so much was expected of at such a young age, that he's lived up to the billing and surpassed it, and has gone from the villain, where everybody despised him for the decision, and everybody, anytime he'd make a mistake, they would all point their finger, see, you're not Michael Jordan, you're not Michael Jordan. Now he's revered, now people love him, and more people are going to be pulling for Cleveland than Golden State.
Well, and I did read, he did regret the way the decision thing went down.
Mm-hmm.
The old saying, if I had it to do over again,
Right.
I would probably do it differently. And I'm also being told that he's got a son in junior high.
Oh, he's pretty good.
That the upside is there.
Yeah, no question. Now, he's going to have to go play college ball one year. I guess the question is does Mike Krzyzewski at Duke pull out that card in his pocket? Because LeBron said, if I wasn't going to the NBA, I was going to Duke. So maybe there's something there. Maybe that'll keep Krzyzewski around for another decade.
How come we've heard nothing from the Pelicans? They said, wait till after the NFL draft. We might have something for you. We've heard zip.
Can't do anything player-wise because it's not the time to do anything like that. And, of course, the Pelicans are the only franchise that has a football staff, basketball staff run by the same people. Leads me to believe that there will be no changes made. So
you've been saying that for a while. We're going to take our final break and then come back and put a wrap on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-779-1032. 800-779-1032.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Guys, take that number 5, like I said earlier, put him in bubble wrap. He doesn't need any contact. He doesn't just show up come September.
Yeah, I think the lesson was learned last year.
Show up in September. He's pretty good.
So, hey, media days for football will be here like right after July 4th.
Don't they go to Sandestin first?
That's at the end of May. Yeah,
End of May.
Yeah,
Okay.
They'll have the SEC meetings down there. We'll get a few nuggets out of that, and then before we know it, football media days will be here. Teams can start practicing a week earlier. That was tied to the no two-a-day rule.
Okay.
So you have
coaches are all over that.
Typically, LSU always started August 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, and it does depend on the first kickoff date of the first game. But actually, there's going to be more window of time. So LSU may actually start football late July. Now, I haven't seen anything out of the communications office yet, but there's a chance 29, 30, 31, that could be reporting day.
It always reminds me of, we never started school until after Labor Day, right?
Right.
My kids start like in the first week of
Like
August
the
again.
5th or
Yeah, it's
something,
ridiculous.
Huh? Oh, well,
it's
hey,
ridiculous.
it's,
There's no summer anymore. Pressure everywhere.
It is. Pressure's the word of the week, huh?
Kids to get grades, and it's crazy.
Oh, man, and there's going to be some pressure out of the box this weekend on both teams, in particular on LSU. And look, all the cliches, one pitch at a time, one at-bat at a time, get it done, find a way to win.
Figure
get
out
those
a way.
guys in from third base, second
Figure
base.
out a way. Lean in, baby. Lean in. Take one for the team.
Wear it for the team. I mean, you got all
How
of
about
that
a bunt?
stuff.
How about a squeeze bunt? Safety squeeze.
Paul Manera's not a big fan of the bunt.
Come on. What does it take? Come on. Bring them in.
First of all, you have to have somebody at the plate who can bunt.
do that, yeah.
Okay?
You don't practice it,
Because
right?
you would think college baseball players can all bunt. No, there's some who bunt better than others. So
I'm not trying to
you
tell-
don't ask a kid to bunt if you don't have the confidence that he can bunt, and that could be part of the situation that gets thrown your way.
I'm not trying to tell the Hall of Famer how to coach in any way, shape, or form, but got to figure out a way to get him in from third with less than 2 outs. Got to figure out a way.
And some of that falls on the players too. I mean, they're college baseball players. They got scholarships. They're very good.
Don't you choke up a little bit? Better bat control or something? Can't you do something?
You can have better bat control with a shorter bat, but some guys aren't comfortable doing that. But again, they're college baseball players. They're the elite of baseball players at that age who aren't already playing professionally. So, I mean, hey, you got to find a way to do it.
I think I saw the all-time hits leader in Major League Baseball. Every time he had 2 strikes, he'd choke up on that stick, either right-handed or left-handed. Petey Rose, it worked for him. It might work.
It worked for him pretty well.
Yeah,
He had a lot of hits there.
Just a
So
few.
we'll see what happens out of the box. Of course, Major League Baseball is rolling on. All that stuff, the NBA playoffs.
Got 2 Game 7s tonight. One Game 7. Got the Celtics and the Wizards.
Who's going to win it? Put the pressure on you. Pressure. We talking about pressure? I'm putting pressure on you.
I like the Wizards over the Celtics, and they got a hockey final tonight. Pittsburgh and Washington. Big one. Game 7.
Have you ever been to an NHL game?
Never.
Nor have I. I'd like to go.
I mean, it's
They
just
say
legalized. It's a
phenomenal.
boxing match.
They say it's phenomenal in person.
They are, how they do what they do on a thin blade of steel, I don't know how they do it.
They're
Forward,
amazing
backward, side. It's
athletes.
unbelievable.
No, they're amazing athletes, no question. Hey, backing it up, we want to thank Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com for joining us to talk some baseball and football recruiting, as well as Ronnie Rance of Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Big Hall of Fame ceremony coming up at the end of June. Go to lasportshall.org and get all the information. They got some events surrounding their induction of the newest members of the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. And I am going to get there soon and check that place out. Jordy, your radio show in the morning and the afternoons in Lafayette. Keep up all that good work. Appreciate you listening to the radio, watching the television, and hope you can spread the roar. On behalf of everybody at Pelican Broadcasting, including Jordy Hultberg, my name is Tommy Krysan. Have a very good evening, everyone.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone. Approval was easy, and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.